Hello, Aquarius. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be your reading for July. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This could play out at any point in time throughout the month of July. This message may or may not be for you. Also keep in mind, Aquarius, this is for any major Aquarius placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. And so if this message does not resonate, check your other signs and placements. Also keep in mind, energies and characters can be swapped around. And so swap around the energies, but do not cram yourself into a reading that is not meant for you. I'm going to start off by talking about what came through in my meditative session. And what I kept feeling is you're on the pathway to family harmony. Family harmony was the main resonance in the energy. But I also do feel your past might be coming back up to haunt you. And so I do feel July is going to be a time to reflect on and come to terms with your past and your family history. And so you might be dealing with some type of psychological issues that are likely needing to be faced, especially if there's any underlying like depression that you've been sitting in. I also heard finish what you started. So I do feel some type of cycle is coming to a major completion, and you can no longer run from your family obligations or your commitments. I was shown like somebody running away from some type of obligation. And so I do feel there's like this gateway opening up in July for you, Aquarius, to kind of help you liberate yourself from some past familial patterns that just aren't working anymore. So let's jump in with the cards, Aquarius, and see what else needs to come through. And so the meditative message might be a standalone message, but usually it all kind of coincides together. So I'm going to start off by using the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck, and we're going to cut the deck, and then we're going to go from there. Aquarius, liberation, yeah. It's time to break the chains of some ancestral patterns, either surrounding addictions, or restrictions, maybe some codependencies, but I do feel freedom. You're stepping into freedom, and maybe you're coming online with some channeling abilities. Maybe you're realizing that you have the ability to connect with the spiritual realm. So if your mind has been cluttered and you're dealing with some psychological issues in the month of July, go within, meditate, quiet your mind, and receive what comes through the heart. So let's see what else needs to come through for you, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node messages for Aquarius, please. What does Aquarius need to be aware of for the month of July? Messages for Aquarius. Wow. So the reading I did prior to you was for Libra, and all the cards were flying everywhere, and there's not much coming out for you, Aqua. So what does Aqua need to be aware of? Maybe you're dealing with a Libra. Maybe not. Dreams. Spend time in nature. Spend time alone. Chakra balancing. Yeah, so I do feel you are encouraged to meditate. Pay attention to your dreams. I do feel Spirit's been trying to bring forward messages. Spirit's been conveying messages to you, and you need to spend some time alone and to spend some time in nature in order to receive the messages. Are you open to receiving them? And so you're being asked to retreat. Maybe you're dealing with a Cancer, or you have Cancer in your chart in a prominent place. But I'm being shown like going within a shell, going into hermit mode, reconnecting with Mother Nature, reconnecting with yourself, going into quiet introspection in order to just be and to balance and to tune your energies up. Because I do feel there's like this energy flow of light code activations coming in, and it might be triggering like an overall sense of like you're losing your mind. So I do feel there's going to be some type of triggering situation stemming around some type of family pattern. You're going to have to address these family patterns with yourself and maybe your siblings or your partner or your mother. All of this negative behavior needs to be brought up in order to correct it and clear the karma board for future generations. And so maybe it's time for you, though, to also speak up and share with others what you've learned and attained with all of this wisdom about these family patterns and these cycles. And so I also feel you are encouraged to find like-minded souls to help you rejuvenate as you also step into imparting some wisdom within the collective. And so I do feel July is going to be a month of self-care for you, Aquarius, a month of self-care. A month of making healthier choices. Maybe you're having to face some addictions of some sort. Watch out for things that have really become an unhealthy habit, because I do feel there's going to be a clearing when it comes to these past patterns in the month of July. So Aquarius, let's keep going. And I have combined my Kipper deck with my Gilded Lenormand extended deck. And so we're going to use this deck and we're going to see what needs to come through next. Yeah, there's a need to close the book on the past. Birds of a feather flock together. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your social group. I feel like maybe you're hanging around with the wrong crowd. The 7 of Diamonds is the 7 of Pentacles. And so there's an energy of stuckness. Maybe it's time to revamp your entire social circle, because I do feel you haven't quite closed the book on the past. And this is stemming around some type of family issues, because the 10 of Diamonds in reverse would be like the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And so you are being asked to break the chains of some family karma here. And what goes around always comes back around. So 26, that might be significant for you, Aquarius. Let's see what else needs to come through. What else does Aquarius need to know about the energies for the month of July? There's the World. I do think you got some challenges ahead, but I do think you're on this accelerated ascension mission. And so be prepared for some challenges. Yeah, this might be stemming around some type of mother wound. I feel a mother energy. So there might be some type of past disappointment with your mother that you need to balance out. And you know, that will keep being reflected in all of our relationships, right? When we don't heal that original wound. Feel Queen of Cups energy, 17 breaking down to an 8. And so this could be a pattern within your dynamic with your mother that is repeated in patterns with relationships since you were about 17. Something about the age of 17 is coming through, and journeying towards balance and harmony. We also get the official person, which is kind of like an emperor. So I do feel like a father-mother wound dynamic playing out. A pattern from childhood that needs to be addressed, that needs to be mastered. We get the 21 card of the Mountain, which is, hey, this is going to be very challenging, but I do feel you rising to the occasion. And with the 8 of Clubs, that is representation of like the 8 of Wands. And so a sudden change, moving forward very quickly, but it's going to require a lot of communication. Yeah, there's some family issues here for sure coming through. So get ready to maybe sit down in the family room with your mother or something of the sort, or an ex, in order to address some unhealthy patterns, because I feel like it's time to crack the whip. It's time to crack the whip. It's like a Knight of Pentacles feel, and there's that cycles, right? 10 is indicating something cyclical coming to a close, and I think you've been thinking about this for a long time. Something from the past. Something from the past. And so I do feel a Tower. You might be going through some type of mental breakdown in order for this change to commence, because I don't think you've fully stepped into the new cycle. And when you do embrace these changes, it's going to lead to a lot of happiness, and maybe you're going to rededicate what it is that you plan to be loyal to. It could mean a commitment, but you got to sift your way through the labyrinth of the mind first, and after the storm, then comes the rainbow. And so I do feel like the gift of knowing what's on the heart. It's like you're opening up this treasure box from within is what it feels like, in order to address these past familial patterns, to embrace the change and move beyond them once and for all. Let's see what else needs to come through with the tarot for you, Aquarius. What else does Aquarius need to know? Well, I do feel some type of underlying pattern has really blocked some type of unity within relationships for you. And so Scorpio, Mars, and so there might be some type of Tower coming in surrounding some type of mother wound. Cancer, the mother, Venus. And so this is what we all strive for, right? A happily ever after. And so maybe there was some type of cheating scenario between your parents when you were younger. And it's really been a block for you manifesting a harmonious relationship is kind of what it feels like, Aquarius. And so there's like this, there is this beautiful soul to soul connection and very well could be like a lifetime partnership. I feel trying to come in that you don't see coming in because you need to let go of some past energy. Let go of the guilt, let go of the shame, let go of any regret, because all of those are wasted emotions. They serve a purpose. I feel somebody that's kind of been in the dark night of the soul, and there's going to be some type of shakeup or tower coming, because the energy is saying it's time to manifest love. But I do think you might need to spend time alone, right? Maybe your parents had an unhealthy pattern, and what you thought was a healthy, loving relationship isn't really that at all. And so clearing any third-party distortions as to what true love really means could also be a message for you, Aquarius. But let's see what else needs to come through for you for the month of July. Messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Ooh, we'll get them all out and I'll show them to you, Aquarius. Yeah, there could be some type of an emotional outburst, emotional breakdown here. I'm going to say around the North Node shift, and this is going to break you free. This is going to break you free from a family pattern that I feel has plagued you and kept you trapped for a long time. It's the energy of somebody's bubble is about to get burst. And so we get the Six of Wands reversed, the Chariot reversed, Cancer energy. We get the Justice card upright, which is things balancing out and working out in your favor. But I feel like this is a lesson in being authentic, right? And maybe you had to hide who you truly were as a child. And now you're kind of breaking free from all of these program beliefs, expanding beyond some program beliefs. And so I do feel in the past, things have likely been very challenging, a period of sorrow, feeling like it doesn't matter what you put out there in the world, you just can't win. You can't win for nothing. But I feel around that Cancer new moon, in between the North Node shifting from Taurus to Aries and the Cancer new moon, we're going to have to address these unhealthy relationship patterns, right? We're going to have to get to the point. There might be an emotional breakdown and a clearing of the heart when it comes to any imbalances within relationships, right? And so the Six of Coins is, you always give more than you receive. And so I do feel with Jupiter also in Taurus, we're expanding our beliefs as well about what is reciprocity, what is an equal giving and receiving relationship, right? Because sometimes you might have 20% to give and that person has to pick up the slack or vice versa. But eventually it always works out to an equitable balance between two people. And so I do feel facing addictions, facing negative patterns, and there's that freaking tower. And so now we got this Eight of Wands in reverse. And so I think the party's over. It's time to give up the party lifetime. It's time to put the brakes on that and to block anybody that isn't supporting the new pathway, because there is without a doubt some type of addictions here, codependencies, unhealthy behaviors, and there's that tower coming in to break you free from a false sense of security. And so there's going to be an unexpected shakeup. Capricorn energy, Mars energy, and we do have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, so pay attention to where Capricorn's at, because if you don't learn that Capricorn lesson over the last 15 years, I feel something about the last 15 years, this lesson is coming full circle. So you can find your flame and your passion for life again, because the King of Wands is like a visionary leader, right? This is somebody that has drive, ambition, and can see clearly for the future. But I do feel there's a need to make peace with maybe a soulmate that wasn't your perfect match, that at one point in time you thought was, because these are two people not on the same page. The Queen of Wands reverse can be jealous and possessive and demanding and controlling. And so I do feel deep down inside, you know this, and maybe this is a pattern in relationships. You attract somebody that wants to manipulate and control you and wears a mask because maybe you're not fully authentic. And so I do feel into the darkness you go in order to understand and look a little bit deeper at this unhealthy family pattern. I do feel unhealthy family pattern. So let's take a look at this tower, because something's coming to break you free from something unhealthy, because the devil's had a grip on you for far too long, Aquarius. Yeah, you need to go within. It's like so much resistance to spending time alone and consciously healing a core wound. Yeah, this is a burden that's been carried through way too many generations, and I think you're the one to feel it and to heal it. So I kind of feel this energy of a coming to Jesus moment. And this is going to break you free. This is going to break you free. And so you might experience ecstatic moments of joy and then bottoming out into the depths of the pain. But I don't feel you've integrated the lesson yet. I think you need to spend some time alone and to spend some time in nature to reconnect with that inner light, that inner wisdom. Because the hermit holds a lot of ancestral wisdom, but we have to go into the seed point. We have to recognize the pattern. We kind of got to get blasted out of our comfort zone so we can let the burdens of the past go. And so I do think you're encouraged to block anybody that you know is wearing a mask or charading as a friend, where really maybe it's just a drinking buddy or something, that you know there's really no growth in that connection. And I do feel addictions have really affected you and skewed your perception about love. There's some unhealthy childhood addictive patterns here that need to be addressed. And I think once they are, you'll be in this energy of no more confusion. No more confusion. Maybe you've always attracted loveless situations, right? Maybe you've always had to be the stable one in a relationship and dealing with emotional manipulators or people that can't control their emotions. But all I see is distortion in relationship cycles, confusion, and now getting the clarity that you need to break the cycle. Let's take a look at the Chariot reverse, because I do feel some type of an emotional breakdown. Wake up call. The Moon reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, the Queen of Wands. I feel healing from a past energy for sure. So I do feel maybe this is what your relationship cycles are like. They come in hot, they come in heavy, and then as fast as they come in, the passion dissipates, and then you're left with somebody very controlling. And so I feel an Aquarius here that keeps attracting wounded feminine energy because they don't know their worth and their value. And so I think that's going to be a revelation, a major wake-up call. Could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sag, or a Pisces or a Cancer, but I feel a major awakening to a very unhealthy pattern and then choosing to take action to change it. And so I do feel really getting honest with yourself as to what's been blocking you being authentically open to a beginning in love, a new beginning in love. Because this is what you want. This is what you prayed for. You need to take action towards it, and you need to heal from any past relationships where you felt oppressed and suppressed and controlled and depressed. And so maybe the last 4 years you've been sifting through a period of depression, understanding the past patterns and praying for a new beginning in love. But you got to release people that don't know their worth and their value. I just feel this energy of an Aquarius always attracts either somebody that uses them for their money, for sex, and never puts in what they like, never gives back to them what they put into it. And so you're all done messing around. You're all done with losers is what I want to say. And I do feel like, yeah, I just think you've been denying this pattern for quite some time, but I feel like Spirit's haunting you. You might have been having struggles with sleepless nights lately, having nightmares, rethinking, reliving the past. I do feel some type of an emotional breakdown is coming because this energy is feeling so stuck when it comes to some unhealthy patterns here. 6 Cups, please. Hanged Man. 8 of Cups. 3 of Swords reverse. So this is walking the path and healing your heart, healing from past heartbreaks, right? I do feel you're coming out of some period of disillusionment. And with Neptune retrograde in Pisces, I do feel you're going to be gaining that new perspective as to what it is that you need to leave behind in order to walk the authentic spiritual path. And so Saturn retrograde in Pisces is giving you the boost that you need to get your emotional house in order and to turn your back on all of the emotional pain of the past from childhood is what I'm feeling. And I do feel you're getting honest with yourself. Truth and clarity. Truth and clarity. And so that's your energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel you're receiving some downloads and you really need to get out in nature and get grounded because you're healing from a lack of unity. Maybe your parents got divorced, but I feel healing from outdated, toxic relationship issues and healing that inner wounded feminine. Whether you're the feminine or the masculine, we all have inner feminine and masculine. And so I do feel you're cutting out anything that creates confusion is what I feel in the month of July for you, Aquarius. And you're going to be healing your heart. And maybe the next 18 months is going to be spent on deep-seated heart healing. Let's get you one last message from the Divine Energy Oracle deck. Yeah, choose friends wisely. I do feel you got a toxic social group that you need to address here, Aquarius. And so take a look at the people you spend your time with, because we become the people we spend the most time with. Are you choosing wise friends? Are you just hanging out with a bunch of drinking buddies, doing drugs and partying? Because that ain't going to help you grow and expand. So I think get ready to rethink things through and to refine your goals and your attention, because there's a lack of being true to yourself here. And that's what the Aquarian energy is saying. It's time to be true to yourself. And that's what I've got for you, Aquarius. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.